Okay, a little quick video on doing the tube hanger. Some things you may consider, you may not consider. When you lay this one out, if you will put this surface of your object on the front plane, okay, and then do this sketch on the right side plane and extrude it mid plane. Then do this sketch on the right side plane and extrude it midways also. Then cut your hole last. That's one way to go about and work this one. So you're dealing with the planes that you already have. And a lot of times you'll find in working with these objects, if you wait until later to cut your holes through, because if you cut this hole first and then add this piece, extruding it the way that we have it, it makes it a little difficult to deal with. However, sometimes you can actually take your object over here in your browser tree and move it up and down. Okay. So if you make the cut first, then extrude that part, you see the part kind of fills in, and then you either have to cut again. So the easiest way is to save your holes, your cuts until last. However, sometimes you can move these things up and down if they're not dependent upon something else. Now, another way to do this, and the book hasn't covered creating reference planes yet, but you can, and that's how I created, excuse me, I created this part. You can see here the origin, I made the center of that cylinder in the hole, okay? And so that gets my planes here. My front plane was there. And what I did is I created a work plane here to do that sketch for the front on. And how we would do that, I'll show you here. Let me turn this one on, and I'll give you an idea of how that works. So you come over here, reference geometry, and you go plane, and you select that plane, and then you can give it a distance and a direction. I don't know, 2.5. And so it creates you another plane offset from that one that you could do your sketching or your work on. Okay, so that's kind of a quick and easy way on dealing with this particular object. One thing I want you to consider, if you're one of my drafting students and have taken 1105, then you know that we want to really think about how we're doing our parts and how we can relate it to the origin or the XY axis. If you're new to this, then you need to consider that in all of your objects that you're creating. Something in your object needs to be constrained or dimensioned or located at the XY origin. It just makes it easier to deal with, especially when we start assembling parts into an assembly. It makes it easier if we use something that's constant, like an XY plane. Okay, so there you go. If you got questions, shoot me an email or come by and see me in the lab.